what's your name and what's the name of your brand / company?
Well, my name is Faren Johnson. I go by Coach Faren. I am a personal development coach, and my business is Evolution of a Black Butterfly. Sorry, I'm giving you my
You good?
email. It's Evolution of a Black Butterfly, and but my apparel line is Evolution Apparel.
Okay. Cool. And what's the basis of your business and where did you start? What came first or everything?
So the basis of my business is me being a personal development coach. So I have a background in social work, and I experienced losing my father and 5 years ago, which caused me to have complex grief. So that's prolonged grief. So for some people, it's like, oh, someone passes away and then, you kind of get over it. But for me, I didn't. My daddy was my best friend. I was the only child. We'll talk about that.
Baby, oh, daddy girl for real.
And so I cared for him, and I lost myself. So I wasn't this bright, smart, and I've always been like so happy. And I ain't always lived the best life, right? So I finally had thought that, okay, this is evolution of like life. I came from like making bad choices and street life, and like now I'm ready. And then boom, my daddy was diagnosed, which caused me to have complex grief. And I ended up for my 40th birthday, so I'm 43. I went to Cabo on a solo trip.
All right now.
It didn't start off as solo. I ended up losing some friends, but it's good because God blessed me to be able to go and have an all-inclusive experience, and I wasn't going to let my blessing sit on the side because other people wasn't in a position to be able to do that. And I got blessed unexpectedly. So God just, I sat on my balcony, and God just talked to me, and I spent time with God, and came with Evolution of a Black Butterfly.
For real, like so, like you wasn't like looking at anything, or like you literally just on the balcony, and it came to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to run with that. You got to run with that.
Yeah, it just came to me, and I said, okay, but it didn't. So I'm not saying it came to me and then boom, I started my business. No, it came to me. I came home, and I had decided I was going to turn my pain. Before I had gone, I said, okay, Lord, I have to turn my pain into passion so that I can be the person I wish I had. Because I didn't have anybody in my life, friends, family, that experienced complex grief. And as a social worker, I worked with a homeless veteran. So I didn't experience PTSD and things like so. I never experienced or had worked with anyone who had complex grief. So I said, I need to be that person. I need to be that shoulder for people to lean on to say, I'm mad at God. Because for me, like my daddy has so much faith. He was believing like, I'm going to get healed. Because it was like no surprise. Like for me, I thought cancer was, oh, you get cancer, you go through this long process. No.
You do the chemo and then you're better. And
yeah, no, it wasn't. It was literally, he was extremely healthy. One day he went to the hospital, boom, you got metastatic cancer over your entire body. Wait, what? Come again and say what? Like, what? And I got that call on my daughter's birthday. And it literally wasn't until this year that I said that, because I always told them, oh, it was the day after. So I screamed and yelled and like, this is not happening. And I didn't want that to affect her. So I didn't say anything, but for me, God has called me to speak my truth. Some people might not like it. Cool. That means I'm not for them. But I don't want people to see me, but to see that, dang, if God was able to heal her, if she was able to be like, I curse God and I want to die. Like that's the place that I was at. And for them to see hope and to see life. I had started So it has been a struggle. Because grief, I'm realizing is a lifelong journey. And so I do a lot of grief work for myself. Yeah. And I teach other people the importance. So when holidays, I did on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook Live, I did a holiday grief support group. So you can just come, talk about grief, talk about healing tips and tools. And that's some things that people don't talk about. Now, I need people to know that it's okay to not be okay. That's like my shirt right here.
I like that. Thank you. I like that saying.
Thank you. It's my first shirt, and I know, like, since the pandemic, a lot of people are saying it, but for me, it started 5 years ago when my godmommy called me and said, and I never talked to her in my entire life, and she said the day my father passed away, she was one of his friends and said, "You my god baby, and you ain't getting rid of me." And so I haven't. And so when I was in a dark space, she would call and say, "It's okay to not be okay." I was like, "You're right, godmommy, but giving up is not an option."
So y'all, no prior relationship before your father passed, but
no.
Soon as like she was there.
Yeah, soon as I like posted, because he has so many great friends. He didn't even realize how many great friends he had. Because they gave him a going away party. So he played basketball. Sorry, not basketball, baseball, and they lived in Berkeley. So every summer they had the end of this Labor Day weekend, they had a big softball game, and so talking to them, they didn't think, the doctor said he wasn't gonna make it, and he didn't, but they wanted to make sure that he had that experience. So all his friends came together and gave him a homegoing party.
So, I know they had to put some life into him.
It did. I mean, this man went from like, we would see him on the couch like, oh Lord, today gonna be the day. And then that morning, like, he ate so much that his stomach was hurting because he was like, if I eat a lot, then I can get healed. I can get chemo, right? And then he was like, I need to smoke. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that.
You good. You good here.
We like, listen, man, I got to take you home. You ain't about to be out here with these people like that.
He's trying to pull up with the fellas. Put one up.
Yeah. He was like, listen, I mean, he didn't always live but he taught me about my faith with God, like, and he would go in and out of prison. Now that I am older and I understand being a veteran and how PTSD and how that role played on him and different experiences that he's had, so now I'm understanding more about him, but he was crazy.
So it was you was doing the coaching before you started your apparel.
Yes.
And stuff like that. How did that lead into your apparel?
Just my saying it's okay to not be okay. And I'm like, I gotta create a T-shirt for that. Like, I need people to know that it's okay. Like, I can say it all the time, but like, people need to see that. Like, they got all kinds of brands and T-shirts that say different things. Like, I need people to see that and know that it's okay. So I started off with drop shipping. And I'm like, mind you, I bought my kids cricket. Like, I bought them everything they needed to have a T-shirt brand, like whatever they wanted to do.
Was it their idea first? It was their idea. No. Or you give them the idea?
These kids is crazy. Okay, they got their own ideas. Like, my now 15-year-old, this girl has been in business all her life, I want to say. She would come home with, like, one time she came home with $50. I'm like, girl, where you get that money from? She's like, I sold my limited edition LeBrons. Honey, you don't have no limited edition. She was like, they was the only ones in my closet, Mom. So
they were limited.
Yeah, so no, they had their own vision of their thing. My 13-year-old got her first summer job the summer before COVID. She took her $300 flip. So you have a TikTok on there where I think it's like from Friday or something, where Mike Epps is talking about, you take this and you flip it in. Yeah. I was like, that's my baby. She took that $300, invested in a lip gloss, vegan and approved organic lip gloss brand. She researched everything herself at 13 years old. I don't do none of that stuff. And she created it, and she made some money. She flipped that money. Now she sells hair and lashes and jewelry. She's in the process of rebranding, and she also does websites. So she's helping others and a few of my clients do like their websites and stuff. So she's lit.
Okay. Yeah, she over there ain't playing. She need to start some classes herself.
Yes.
For real.
She just created a journal, so she's happy, and she's helped some of her friends that be able to start businesses and like tell them what she did to start, because I didn't have anything really, I feel like she encouraged me when it comes to my brand and my T-shirts and my journal, because I created a journal also comprised of different things, tips and tools I used when I was in my darkest moment. So she inspired me. Like, I have a 22-year-old that just graduated Arizona State with her degree in biology. And so the girl had she had a traumatic brain injury. She got in a really, really bad car accident. She was the only one that got hurt. But she was like, and we bumped heads. Like, we was talking for a minute, like, girl, you got to come home. Like, you can't think for yourself. She was like, I ain't coming home. I'm trusting God. Like, I ain't doing it. And yeah, my baby just got her degree.
I see you over there raising some strong spirited kids over there then.
Man, these kids crazy. I'm like, I brag different because y'all think they crazy, right? But I'm blessed to have this.
That's cool. That's cool. Where are you at right now with the business and everything?
So I am so happy to say, like, with my business, my apparel line is coming along so much. Like, I've created new T-shirts because now I got my creative juices flowing. I feel so much peace inside of my heart. Like, not that my life is perfect. I literally had 2 miscarriages in the last 6 months. So it's like, boom, grief is like there.
You're going through some stuff.
Yeah, and I'm like, so either this is going to make or break you. On top of I care for my grandfather who has dementia. And, I have him in memory care now, but I'm his sole person because our family decided it was cool. They ain't gonna like I said that, but it is what it is. So your girl carries a lot. And I'm like, I'm either going to take this and fall back into a deep depression, or I'm going to pour into myself. And how can I help other people? Like, how can I take my brand and they not see me, but see God through me? Or even if they don't believe in God, because I believe not everybody has to, right? You got your own walk, but I need you to know that you don't have to suffer in silence. It's not the end. You know, it feels like it, trust me. But you can keep going. So I just feel like with my brand right now, it's taken off. I was able to do a showcase in front of the Marshall Retail Group, who is over the Sacramento International Airport. So I'm in the process of talking to them to have my journal in airports. That was on my so my vision. One of my vision boards was that my journal and my brand is going to be worldwide.
I got me a vision board too.
Yes. Listen, like Habakkuk told you, write it down and make it plain. Manifesting it, like believing it. I literally put down my vision board that I was going to meet Pastor Sarah Jakes Roberts. God put it on my heart in November to go to Women Evolve Conference. I was like, God, I ain't, you know what I'm saying? I'm spending more money than I'm getting in. God was like, go. That Friday, I had a horrible time. 3 hotels got canceled. Like, how does that happen? I went through Priceline because I bought on the budget, okay? I on budget.
I know how to do it. I know how to do it well.
Me too. Me too. And it was horrible. But God said, bless her with your shirts. I blessed her with a hoodie and a T-shirt and a journal. And I ended up was in my head because I didn't spend extra money. How is this gonna work? And Lord, I got bills, and God said, just trust me. So during our the book signing, I handed it to her and told her, like, I created this apparel line and this journal after losing my father. And so the next day, I got to stand up in front of the entire conference. It was, I think, 10,000 registered in 33 countries. And talk about confidence and talk about how I had to move myself out of the way. Mind you, the whole time in my head, anxiety was going through yes, like, and for them to pick me to stand up and talk. And right after that, and she started prophesying to my life and telling me how God has something in you that needs to get out of you, and you got to move yourself out the way in front of the entire conference. I was like, God, when I asked you to make it plain and clear, he was like, baby, I'm going to have your favorite pastor that don't know that's your favorite and that's your BFF, but y'all are. I'm going to have her shut the conference down to start prophesying to you and then the rest of the congregation. And so Then I ended up getting a $7,000 grant, and that I didn't apply for, and they chose me. So it was a We Drive Dreams grant that people had to apply for, and that someone blessed and donated more, so they had more to give those applicants. Plus, they called myself and another person. So when she's like, "And my girl with the grief journal, I need you to come down here," I was like, "Jesus." Now you didn't showed up and showed out.
Say, hey, he came in and showed and acted the fool for you real quick just to put it all, gave you all what you need. You just asking for a little bit.
Man, for real. So it's just like, okay, God, I hear you. Because in our heads, I don't know about you, but I know entrepreneurs that I've worked with. It's like we get in our minds about, are we doing our content right? Are we reaching the right people? Is my stuff getting out there? So when I stop focusing on how much I'm gonna bring in, now that's important because your girl got bills. But when I just start trusting his plan, and I said, but God, you gave this to me. Like, what you want me to do with this? And so he literally has just been placing people into my life. Like, I'm applying for government contracts so that my brand can be on Army base. So I'm government contract ready. So your girl is like, it's going places.
Manifest.
I just have to be patient.
The manifestation is real.
Yes.
It is. If you want it, he'll give it to you.
Yep.
Just make sure you're ready for it.
Oh, sometimes we ain't ready. Like, I wasn't ready for them to call me, to come down. Now, you stand on this stage where Pastor Sarah Jackson, T.D. Jackson, all these dope leaders are standing there to bless me with a grant that I didn't apply for. Like, God is like, but are you ready? I'm like, no, I'm scared. So I got to do it scared. I got to do it. And I say that all the time. You got to do it scared. You got to do it even if you don't have a tight plan. Because everything I planned for my fourth quarter last year, God blew it out the water. So I have a shell of a plan of what I think, but I'm saying, okay, God, I trust you. Which way do you want me to go with this? How do you want me to go in my personal and my business and with my kids, with my family? So, and it's hard and it's scary. Like, I ain't gonna act like, okay, I'm trusting your plan and it's all good. Nah, your girl's scared. Okay.
I've learned to just appreciate the journey.
Mm-hmm.
If you can, I feel like me personally, me being in that space of just appreciating the journey, that means it makes it even easier for me to accept the bad, the good, and everything that comes along with where I'm going.
Yes. It took me a long time to get to that place. I remember I had to drop out of my master's program because my father started being sick. So, and I kept planning to go back. Like, I started and I stopped. And I said, okay, maybe that's not time for right now. But I had one professor who would literally tell me all the time, Faren, I do that. She's like, you have to trust the process. And I'm like, forget the process. Like, God, when is it going to heal? It's like, just trust the process. So it's dope that you said learning to enjoy the journey. So I created another shirt, trusting the process, because it's easy for us to say, like, you got to enjoy this journey right where you're at. What if it's so much darkness inside, you don't see no light? So trusting that process, meaning I got to chip away this darkness. I can't take it all at once, but I got to just chip away at it, so that I can start seeing a little bit of light and enjoying right where I am. Like, I realized that yesterday. I said, okay, I'm not working at all. And then I found myself working on my business because I love it. I'm having fun with it. Coming up with these like new T-shirts and stuff.
You in the zone.
Yes. And God is like, be still and just trust your journey and be okay with just being still. Like, be okay with just sitting down. Trusting this journey, trusting that it's going to work out. Now, you can get back to it, tomorrow you got it, but when you off, when you're, and that's a part of like trusting. I'm working on it, but it's a part of it.
What's the future? What's the plans for the future? Where are you going to take this?
So for me, my plan is to get government funding and actually I have a state contract that because of COVID, so it's kind of on hold. Well, I'll be teaching homeless, some are homeless veterans and my parents who are doing reunification, helping them to, do personal development. We can teach people, and I also have a 90-day mentorship program that I'm going to be, registration will open February 2nd, where because we teach people about small business, how to be a small business owner and government, but what about that inner work? So I see my future as having a development agency, and being where small business owners are able to come and work on the whole person, work on your brand, but also work on that confidence, work on imposter syndrome where you feeling you're not good enough, or you're doing all these things and you still feeling like I got to keep going, kind of, instead of just resting in, where you are right now. So I see big things happening. I also have some dope guests. A celebrity stylist that is like a high profile celebrity stylist is going to be one of my guests.
You want to drop some names?
I don't think I can yet.
You want to hold it? You want to hold it or you want to drop it?
She is. So, how would I say? So one of her celebrities has a beehive. And so, I'll leave that. You
don't really got to say too much after that.
Yeah. But she's dope. She happens to be my niece, so look at God, right?
Hey, working his magic.
Yes, you have to. I have a great real estate agent, and I met some dope people on TikTok, like I met you. And so I have an SEO person. I have a crazy notebook lady. She's teaching people how to do create your own journals and stuff on Amazon. It's gonna be lit.
Okay.
Connie, who is on there as well. And so I met some dope people, and I'm excited about it.
I like that. What would you say? What would you say has been some valuable lessons you've learned in your journey?
The valuable lesson is always make sure you read the fine print, okay? And I say that because I was a part of a really, really dope program. It was a dope program, but I have to take accountability that I didn't read the fine print. So when I counseled on this program, then I didn't get to make a return on some of my investment, on a really long investment, but that was on me. That wasn't on the other party, So you making sure you are reading your terms and agreements, making sure you're reading the fine print, making sure you don't have so many things going on that you're putting things to the side. Because sometimes you got to just sit down and really just say, I can't do everything. Like I get all these great ideas and then I just put them in a notebook. And then I started like saying, okay, I can start doing this and doing that. So I just think time management is a really big lesson for me, especially with the hats that I wear. So being a momager, a personal development, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I have stocks, I have real estate, working on my Airbnbs that I'm praying will be ready to go in March. I have 2 of them in Florida. And so your girl got a lot of stuff going on. But
I see you. How you even? I know it takes a lot to balance that.
And so I'm learning to delegate things. So my kids are really lit. My 22-year-old, she'll be like, I just said, I found the virtual assistant. She was like, oh, so did you fire me? Wait, you just quit after you got paid the last time. See, my kid's crazy.
Quitting after every paycheck they come.
They have a lot going on, but I just learning to delegate, learning that, okay, this is a great opportunity, but I can't do this in this season. So actually learning to say no, which is not always easy for me. And that has been how I'm able to do that. And delegating, like trusting that you put together a really dope team to be able to get these things done. And it's going to be hit and miss. Because you're going to think you got a dope team and you connected with some good people, and it's going to hurt your feelings because they're not who they say they are, or, but you just got to take it on the chin and you either learn or you win from it,
Hopefully you learn something from it again.
Oh, I've learned.
If you could give if you could give someone coming up behind you some motivational words to keep them going, what would that be?
I think the thing that I said a few times in here, that it's okay to not be okay. You're not gonna have it all together. The people that you think are supposed to support you, they not, and it's okay. So it's okay to cry. It's okay to be angry. But baby, giving up is not an option. You gotta do it scared sometimes. You gotta do it alone sometimes. But you have to do it. Like you just gotta do it. We can't depend on everybody to support us. And that hits hard, you know? Like, dang, you don't got my back. But I just say keep going. Yeah.
I can definitely feel that. I also have my section with flowers. I like to give other people their flowers and stuff. I know you probably have some people out there that you've seen maybe inspired you a little bit and stuff like that.
Yes. So I have a couple people. One of them, and I'm not just saying it because I'm on your show, but you really be helping me with my content because I'm silly. So
I taught you vibe. I went over there and taught you vibe. I promise.
Man, I'll be like, oh, that's tight. Like, how can I flip it for me? But like, I've met some amazing people just on TikTok alone. I've like I said, the Crazy Notebook lady who has helped me a lot. My children, my husband. Also, Connie, I don't know what her TikTok name is, but she is so dope, helping me with my website. And just, we did a live together the other day, and just to be able to talk and vibe with each other, and me being able to pour into her. Let's see. I was a part of a really dope mentorship group, Money Back 623. And despite the fact that we went our separate ways, I can say that through this year, it was very... It helped me. It helped my business a lot. It helped me as a person. But, you know, sometimes things have to end, and it's cool. But I met some really dope people, and I'm very appreciative of that group. And that's Jesus talking right now. So, yeah. And I just appreciate all the people that I'm meeting, and I'm being able to be a blessing to, and they're being able to bless me and my business and my mind.
Hey, that's what's up right there. That's what's up. I like that.
Thank you. And I appreciate this. Like, again, I appreciate you even having me.
Hey, I'm glad we linked up and everything.
Yes.
Trust and believe. I got some things in play. I'm gonna have to call on you again. So I appreciate you for blessing me with your time. And I would definitely get with you when I get the edits and stuff. I'm gonna tag you and everything and let you know.
Oh, thank you. And then I'll tag you in some of their stuff too, okay?
Okay, cool.
All right, thank you.
All right, then.